Soccer team named after a Paul Newman movie going against the GOAT, Pele. Why not? Let's talk about the Chicago Sting. Chicago Fire have been around Major League Soccer for all but the first 2 years of the league's existence, but they're not the first top-flight team to call Chicago home. The Chicago Sting, founded 2 years after the doomed Chicago Mustangs folded, have that distinction. Lee Stern, a local commodities trader, made a big bet on soccer as the next big thing in America. He was maybe a little early, but for a while, he was right. If you know anything at all about the NASL, it's probably because of players they signed like Pele, George Best, Franz Beckenbauer. Chicago, on the other hand, built those early teams with the kind of guys you wouldn't be surprised to show up to fix your furnace. These foundational players weren't necessarily superstars, but they were pieces from hardworking English, German, and Polish teams with a mix of American players thrown in. Eddie May, a central defender from Wrexham, was brought in and immediately used as a striker because, hey, why not? And it worked at times. A 4-1 beatdown of Pele's Cosmos team was the evidence. They didn't quite have the glamour of Johan Cruyff, but it did draw a pretty snazzy hat on the B mascot. Willy Roy came in as the head coach in '79, former player. He made the team tough, but he also made them very exciting with players from Italy, the Netherlands, Argentina. Pato Marjetic proved to be the missing piece in attack. They made Soccer Bowl '81, and they defeated those glory boy Cosmos. It was the first championship Chicago had seen since the Chicago Bears in 1963, a pre-Super Bowl era team. A crowd of people showed up to support and greet the team on their return to O'Hare. And even if a lot of those people were confused about the offside rule, progress. Sadly, it wouldn't last. Teams were paying world-class salaries on very much developing league revenues. The Sting actually applied to take a break from the NASL in 1984 and they were denied, so Stern said that that would be their final season before pivoting to an indoor team. Wouldn't you know it, they went out and won the whole damn thing again. When the whole experiment came tumbling down in 1985, turns out the Chicago Sting were the final champions of the North American Soccer League. And thus began a long wait for professional soccer to return to Chicago. Cheers.